Hello, everyone. Welcome to YakShaver sprint review for Spring 120. Last week, we have been focusing on Armada and YakSmasher. We will walk through into the details about those. So yeah, for last Spring Go, the main Spring Go was to complete YakShaver YakSmasher embed. However, this one was partially finished. It was planned for 5 increments, and 1, 2, 3 was done, and 4 and 5 still remaining. We will get into more details later. And the second goal was to improve YakShaver Anywhere, the user experience. So we have created lots of PBIs and get Armada to improve it. And also we did a review on those PR created by Armada.
Right. Just on that, just the formatting of that, I'd put each item on a fresh line. And so see for the first one that it wasn't actually fully done.
Yeah.
Then you'd be able to easily put in tick, tick, miss, to be very clear which parts of that you got done. Yeah, just future formatting.
Yeah.
One other thing that I just don't see here, and I thought we spoke about, was you were going to be doing a bit of work on Armada, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, that's not in the goals. It's just another item, is it?
I'm not 100% sure now if it was part of this sprint goals, but yeah, every sprint we do some Armada work.
Right.
There's some improvements.
We did definitely have a lot of improvements. So.
Can I just ask, was it smooth sailing with Armada this sprint?
The video part is still in the work, but once we go to the backlog, I'll give you a summary on what we've changed in Armada.
So the done videos aren't being produced.
Not fully yet.
Okay.
There's still a bit troubleshooting around.
And did you raise it with Callum during the sprint?
Not directly with Callum. There's a PBI that I'm working on, but to get to there, I wanted to make some other changes on Armada because, do you want me to give you the brief now? Or
well, I'll tell you why I asked that, because 2 sprints ago, Callum made the point, if the done videos aren't working, contact me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
All right, we can talk about it when you get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. So last week we had 5 working days. The members are Tom, Stephen, Willow, Zeno, Tino. And also we have Rick Su attended as a guest for the sprint review. Internal hour, Stephen, Tom, and Zeno worked on full-time. Tino and Willow are part-time. For the spring backlogs, the highlight PBIs we're going to talk about is the list of the Armada improvements. Tom, can you give us a overall walkthrough of these all improvements on Armada?
Yes, certainly. So we made some improvements to the done video generation. And as part of that, it was a research and development co-activity. So we tried the skill that Luke and Jack and Callum produced with that particular item, just to see the output that it produces, and basically gave back feedback to Jack as well as Luke on those results. As part of that, we found some follow-up issues with the video recording, specifically for YakShaver desktop, which we started looking into and working on it. And currently, Armada was using still the GitHub pack, the personal access token. And I worked with the sysadmins to create a Armada GitHub app. So the PBIs are generated as Armada, which helps us as well, or specifically me, to review the PRs, because currently they're under my name due to the pack, so I can't review them or approve them. So that was one of the main focus, to get that sorted out and then continue focus on the videos.
Sure.
which helps as well other teams because we onboarded 2 more projects, the normal YakShaver portal project, as well as Crystal Ball.
Okay.
Yeah, any questions?
That's great, Tom. Thank you. It's much better to see some visibility on what work's been happening with Armada, because that's one of the main things I care about at the moment. So thank you.
Yeah.
Callum, at some point, will you talk about SSW Relay during this meeting?
No.
Isn't that work part of like what YakShaver we use?
I see that as a separate initiative to YakShaver.
Okay.
I'm happy to talk about it if you want, but we didn't spend any time on it because we were focused mostly on YakShaver.
All right. Okay. Maybe we wait until it's actually done and used by the YakShaver.
I think so.
Just before we move on, Yuli, that was also a good point. And Adam, maybe for you to know as well. I reached out to Wixie to onboard Tina CMS as per your request, Yuli, but he was a bit hesitant on that note. And I think that's then the perfect scenario if someone is hesitant, because that gives us more feedback to improve Armada. But long story short, he was still in the end hesitant, and I asked Yuli and Wixie to come to a conclusion if that's the next project to onboard or if we want to look at some another project. Because if someone is critical, that's probably the best feedback that we can get to improve it.
Look, my first thought on that is that we should probably sort out the dramas that we're having with the done videos, so that when, for instance, say Wixie gets pulled onto it, he has a good experience as opposed to getting frustrated with the videos or something. So we might as well iron out the bugs and then put him on it.
Yeah, just on that note, the difficult part is every project has different setup, right? So it's always going to be a different problem or scenario potentially to record these done videos. That's why it's good to get a variety of projects onboarded right now, so we can figure out, okay, what are the different hurdles that we're gonna discover.
Yes, but we should at least get it working on something, right? I think that's Yuli's point. Currently, we don't have any done videos. Even on YakShaver.
We don't have them in the format as the discussion I had.
Yeah, I think we've got some videos being recorded, but they're not quite what we want.
Yeah.
Are they still useful for helping you with the PR, and is it just like, it works fine, but it's not like how we wanted it, or is it not really working?
Even if the format is not as we want them to be, it's definitely more helpful just to have some context in the PRs, yes.
Okay, so there's still, is it actually doing some work? Like, are there some PBIs done by Armada the sprint?
Yes, a whole bunch, yes.
Oh, great. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Let's move on. So besides this Armada itself improve, we also assign Armada a list of PBIs and ask Armada to work in the background. And the human just need to do the PR reviews once it's done. You can see there's a big list on the backlog that was done. Mainly was done by Armada. And one of the example will be this one. So MCP2. Sorry, not this one, sorry. This one. YouTube emoji link has a inconsistent emoji on top of the link. Willow, can you give us more details about this one?
Yeah, sure. So this issue is that before when we generate the PBIs, we have the Lexi play icon. The emoji is different from our red square. And also there are some cases it put 2 video links in the same PBI. So this PBI is to fix the issue. And the reason is that there are mainly two reasons. So the first one is it's the legacy icon, the emoji is set in the project portal settings. It's not in the code base. And because it includes, we didn't update the prompts there, so we get this emoji. And the second issue is that for the desktop, we shouldn't include the prompt, the project settings from the portal. We should only contain some metadata like the project name and the repo link. We shouldn't include that prompt. So that's the two reasons we have this issue, and it has been all resolved, and the old prompt has been removed.
And was there a that was done by Armada? Did it make a video?
No video for now.
Okay, so sometimes it makes videos, sometimes it makes no videos.
Yeah, as per my message, on some PBIs it was fine to create a video. On others, it complained about missing credits, even though we still had like more than 9,000 credits. So there's still known issues with that.
And did we switch to the Pro, whatever, 11 Labs model or no?
No, at the moment, the free tier is still sufficient. That PBI that basically generated the video was just like under 1,000 credits. So under the current model, I roughly estimate we can do 12 videos. And since I'm still working on like improving the whole process, I think it's fair to stay on the free tier because we haven't reached even close to the limit yet. So once we do and it runs a bit more smoothly, then yeah, I can do a purchase please and bump up the subscription.
Cool. All right, no worries. Well, that's great. So how many of those PBIs did Armada do?
I would say there are, I think, 80% of these PBIs.
I
so
think
you guys
we should have some sort of indication on here to show which ones were done by Armada.
Yeah, it'll be easier to see from this backlog.
Right, but we create the
just
email summary as well, so we could just pull in the tag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I would, when you use Armada, have a certain emoji in those titles. Yeah. And can you fix it before you press send on this email?
Yes, I will add the emojis before we start the email.
Yeah, we probably can also. We can also probably update the sprint email skill because all the PBIs and PRs get the label from Armada, so it should be easy to include that in the emails going forward.
So quick question, guys. So obviously, in order for it to work with Armada, first somebody needs to go through and agree that the PBI is ready for Armada and put the Armada tag on. Is that part correct so far? You tag it with Armada when you. So you tag the PBIs that you think Armada can handle with the word Armada as a tag. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and then after it's done, is somebody still looking at the pull requests, or have we taken the human layer out?
No, we still all look at the PRs. So definitely on easy PRs, I think is most of the time good to go. But you can mark any size PBI and it will basically do the work, implement it. And currently the different repos are configured to stop at the PR so that we have still the control and can look over it.
Okay, and how are we going with the PRs? Are we having to make many changes or is it pretty good?
It depends. There were some PBIs where we had to update the UI because it implemented it, but then it had some sizing issues. We have one example in here which we can show.
I guess, do you know what I'm getting at? I'm trying to work out, like, for instance, a few sprints ago, we got Adam to say, okay, let's try it with one of the repos with no PRs. I don't think that happened in the end. but we should probably iron out the Armada bugs before we do that anyway. But I'm just
Yeah.
curious how far it can go if we just let it go nuts, you know, for one of the repos. Or like, tell me if it's not ready for that. If like, no, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
We're making really important changes still.
I think the danger we run into if we just let it auto merge is that we as devs lose context and knowledge what has happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
yeah,
then we lose track. Like,
so what about the usage? We're using a max 20 plan, are we?
So yeah, currently we're still using the same plan as Tiger.
Okay. Do we know how close we're getting
plan.
to the usage limits for that?
So we keep monitoring it every now and then. We haven't reached the limit yet. I also every now and then I turn off Armada because there's no new PBIs to be worked on. So I manually currently control it a little bit until maybe we have some more automated kind of scenario where it's a bit more token aware and can kind of like turn itself on and off or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, at the moment,
does it consume usage when it's not, like when there's no Armada PBIs? Does it constantly poll the backlog or something and chucking up, like churning through tokens, even if there's no Armada PBIs?
Yes, at the moment, yes, it's minimal because it's still using the LLM to kind of figure that out. But there are some ways where we can kind of script it a little bit and basically get zero token usage if there are zero PBIs with that label.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it hasn't been done yet.
I mean, if 80% of the PBIs, 80% of the PBIs have come through Armada, then it shows that it's working. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
What models are you using? Is it still churning through Fable tokens, or what's it doing?
No, currently it's using the default, so it would be Opus 5 at the moment.
Right.
But
okay. And it's still doing the job?
Yeah, I added some configuration so you can configure it per project through the configuration.
Okay, nice. Ideally, there would be some kind of model router that would look at how difficult the task is and spin up sub-agents depending on how hard it is and give it, to Solid or Opus or Fable as needed.
Yeah, I think Claude by itself, especially I think if you are on Fable, they have some sort of logic behind there where they offload some of the smaller tasks to, I don't know, Haiku or some other model. But
yeah,
you're less in control of that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, exciting. Carry on.
Yeah, so another PBI was to show off is the one we improved the MCP desktop app UI. Zeno, can you give us more insights about this?
Yeah, can you open this issue?
And Zeno, mention when this got deployed, because I used it on the weekend and it was looking very nice. And I saw Costa get very excited when he goes, "Oh, look at the nice green ticks and stuff on the left-hand side." Now it does exactly what I expected.
Okay, cool. So this issue is coming from the Adam's emails feedback. So in the first, can you scroll up?
Well,
yeah. So yes. So for the first two tasks, we updated the title of both the pop-up and also the application. And for the third one, can you scroll down? We have moved the error message from toaster to pop-up card itself. So it gives the user enough time to review the details of all the error messages. And also we have distinguished the OS failures with other errors. So currently, the MCP state actually have 4 states: active, OS failed, MCP error, and inactive. So that's what it looks like. And also we have added the reauthorize buttons to the author fail state. So that the user do not need to like disconnect it and connect again. So you just only need to like click this button and try to reauthorize. Yeah, that's all.
And you missed, when did you deploy this?
I think the effect for the desktop is like once I get merged, it will deploy to the product lively. So I think it's deployed on maybe on Thursday or Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good. Now, when you do this demo, I personally would prefer you pull it up and just show it. Maybe it's not that easy because you're not in a failed state. So that's appropriate to do it this way. And in that case, I would say, look, I'd love to show you this for real, but I'll show you the screenshots because it's hard to get in that state. Or you could do a hybrid of the two. Here's the app. This looks nicer. This looks nicer. Now there is also an error, so I'll show you that on the PBI. Now, the reason I say that is because there's more. Sorry. Because I think you need to mute Zeno when you're not talking. Yeah. So I think that the reason you want to pull open the app is in case there's extra feedback that you want to be given. In addition, I would say that the disconnect button is bigger than the tools button. So I would turn that into just a word and just put a hyperlink to make it not as strong because you don't usually disconnect. The reauthorize is fine. I don't have a problem with that. And finally, if you scroll up a little bit, Stephen, you will see the error message shouldn't be in red on black. It should be in white text. So
I think actually it's white. This is the image from the old one. So if you scroll down,
that's probably why you should update this image if you're going to show it in a sprint review. So you don't need to put so many red boxes around it. You can, but it's not essential. And finally, can I ask, there were a few more YakShaves that came in after this work was done. Did you see them?
What do you mean the YakShaver? You mean like some more other issues related to this one or
I'm talking about the YakShaver desktop. Some more issues came in this morning. Did you see them?
Oh, yes.
You saw them. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, and also worth mentioning the status of YakSmasher. So for the YakSmasher, we planned a 5 increments strategy. So every time we do a step, currently we have finished 3 of them. They are basically the background plumbing, connecting the backend and front end, and also doing the authentications in between. And next step would be design. How do we actually allow user to use that one line of the code to embed into their website? Tom and I are looking into solutions at the moment, but it's worthwhile a little bit more research on it. Yeah, so next focus will be working on this step. Tom and I will be working together. And yeah, so it's about like 70–80% finished already. And hopefully we can get this delivered by this weekend. Yeah, next we have Tina to give us some insights of recent velocity and INDs. Tina? Oh, is Tina here?
Yeah, it's not here.
I've got a question about velocity in general. The Armada ones, are we estimating those?
Most of them, yes.
Yeah.
And are we estimating them based on how long we'll need to approve the pull request or how long it would take us to do them?
Currently, what I put in is based on how long I would probably take on implementing it.
Yes. Okay, cool. All right, great. So that's it's more like a meter benchmark then. So that's great. So that should reflect in our velocity then.
Yeah, so that's why, because we dragged the items in, so we leave them usually in the backlog, and then when we have capacity, we drag them into the sprint and do the review and add them, and that's how we got over 100%, because we committed to 30 points and we added multiple Armada tickets into the sprint.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
we had 150 increase than the committed points. Okay,
That's really cool.
For the INDs.
Good job, Tito.
Yeah, I can take over that because most of the R&D I basically did through the skills. So yeah, I tested out the skills that Luke, Jack, and Callum developed and asked us to do. It's definitely a good start. I added some feedback into the repo because ideally, and that's maybe some research and development in itself, would be good if we can do it similar like Armada to kind of work in the background so the developer doesn't have to actively think about it and kind of change their workflow. Because specifically for R&D, we need to record like the baseline, the failed states, add some documentation, screenshots, add more documentation. So it's a complete different workflow because in the normal dev cycle, we don't really care about the failed state to commit it. We usually care about the working code and state, and that's what we commit. So that's why it takes quite more time to generate all this documentation, even if you use AI for it. The research and development idea that I had and recorded into the repo is to do something similar what we do with Armada, where it looks at the backlog, maybe identifies, hey, this PBI could be a core activity, marks it as core activity, and then when we do the work, as usual, this research and development process looks at it, takes in the baseline information for research and development, as well as the new state based on the changes in the PR, and basically adds them in parallel without like in the background, without the developer spending extra time on producing all of that. So that's something I need to follow up in the next few days with Luke as well as with Jack, based on the feedback that I had.
Cool.
Yeah. Any questions about this?
No, all good.
Let's move on. Next, Lina going to give us some details about the AI usage.
Yeah, so for the AI tool usage, for this sprint, we also added the tour plan for everyone, and I think most of the people have updated their plan, their models to Ops 5, and actually we don't see like a lot of difference when compared with Ops 5 to like Ops 4.8, but I think the good thing is there's also no difference for their pricing. So yeah, I think that's all.
Thank you, Zena. Next, we are going to give us some details of AI stats.
Yeah, so for the class stats, I think that most of them are correct, but it got some issue identifying the YakSmasher, so it doesn't use the correct words, but the contents, they are correct. And yeah, and for the Copilot stats, the main issue stats was a large batch of YakShaver and Armada improvements was delivered, and this is correct.
So basically, the AI stats are analyzed correctly. And also, for the overall project snapshot, we have 780 open items, and we committed 32. Average velocity we have covered, it was around 35, and We have 141 backlog ready. Yeah, for the Spring Retro,
Sorry, that number coming down at all with the use of Armada? Like, is that lower than last month? And can we have the skill show us the number the week before?
Yeah, so just to clarify, these numbers, they're currently only coming from the YakShaver portal project.
Right.
Armada was initially or mostly used on the desktop app. Those numbers are not reflected there at all.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
we would not see that difference.
Yeah.
So should we update the
yeah.
skill to look at the multiple repos?
Yeah, that would be probably the best way to go about. And that's or either combine them or have them separate. But definitely
Probably combine
like,
them, I think.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, because what we're looking at here is like, you know, this is a project that's split across a few different backlogs, but really it's all one big project.
It is, but I don't mind having the desktop one separate. It's got a completely different set of skills. It uses the one API.
Yeah.
But you can leave
If
it
you want.
separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that-
maybe
At the
have
moment,
two
we don't have
lines.
it at all.
One, the main backlog, and then the desktop backlog. And if you put those two labels, that'd be a lot clearer.
yeah.
So there's
Can
more
you try
though,
to-
because there's also the 365, which is another backlog again.
The
And
365
Armada,
also-
which is
you
another
mean- you
backlog
mean
again.
YakShaver Anywhere is really the core part. It's not an extra.
That's incorporated in the portal backlog now. We don't have a separate backlog.
Oh, okay.
for it.
Was it temporarily in its own backlog?
It was.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not going mad.
okay, yeah, let's move on. And next, Tom, can you give us some insight on retros?
Yeah. So what went well, pretty much the whole team agrees there has been a lot of progress done, thanks to Armada, of course, as well. And I also want to give a big shout out to the team since I asked them to help review the PRs with me, and they did a good job and reviewed a whole bunch of them as well.
Guys, can I make
Yeah.
a suggestion? I think you guys should do a product, like a backlog refinement meeting at the beginning of every sprint, where you mark as many as you can as Armada ready, and then have some time dedicated, you know, somewhere along the sprint to approve pull requests.
Yeah.
That is one way. I think if each person works on two at a time, that might be another way and would be good enough. But you can experiment. Like I've heard Callum say, if he was working on it, I'd throw everything from the backlog in and I'd see what got done, and the ones that got done, I'd review straight away. Maybe that's the best approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
sometimes
decide
we
if
have-
you want it once you look at the done video. If you don't want it, you just chuck it away and ignore it.
I guess I'm just nervous that we've just done all the ones that we've marked as Armada, and we might forget to mark others as ready for Armada, and then we just don't get those great numbers again. Anyway, guys, I've
Yeah,
just arrived
that's-
home, so I have to run, but I will. This is very exciting, so I'll see you all
Yeah,
soon.
usually before you go, that's a fair point, or fair worry. Since I'm kind of like working on it, I definitely, remind the team on that. And usually we do it after the sprint.
That's great. All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Continuing on that, what went well, YakSmasher is quite on a good progress as well. It's almost there where we can run some tests on it, so 70 to 80% done. I also said the research and development skills are a pretty good start to help, with the research and development process. And there's some improvements, so hopefully we can look into it and make it semi-automatic, even more than it is with the skills. What didn't go so well, Callum mentioned, we had the downtime on Sunday, which was a very unfortunate situation. We discussed it today with you, Adam, and the team as well, which we will add some additional rules on how to manage these incidents. Callum said we shifted based when we looked on that also from Cloud Sonnet to Kimi K2.
Have you worked out who shifted?
Not 100% yet. I think
Are you
I don't wanna-
making changes to the settings of that in a script, or are you just going in and clicking around?
it's bit the default is through environment variables. So if we want to change them, we need to change them in Key Vault. But based on what we saw today, I mentioned to Callum as well, I want to do a little bit more investigation with Kiki, because it was all a little bit heat.
Do you
The
think
heat
it was
of the
you,
moment.
or do you think it was the sysadmins?
No, the model, I think that was always the case. So what I found out with a very quick investigation, I think it was, we use Kimi K2 for the YakShave Anywhere, where we use it for,
Oh, this is a long answer. But do you think one of you guys
Yeah.
changed it, or do you think one of the sysadmins changed it?
no, if someone would have changed it, it was us,
It was
but I think it hasn't changed yet. It was always the
N- oh,
config.
But I saw it as Claude Sonnet, and it was meant to be Kimi
Correct.
K2, right?
Correct, because we're using two models for two different purposes.
Right.
So that's why I want to do a little bit more of investigation.
All right. By the way, if you read that's what didn't go well, I'm pretty certain it should say Kimi K2 to Claude Sonnet. Mistakenly. It's the other way around. He was wondering how we shifted from,
Well, it's
'Cause
both,
he
I
had it-
guess, because it appeared when we looked at the graph that we were using Claude Sonnet until the 20th of July, and then we shifted to Kimi K 2.5. But I don't know, the whole thing is a little bit confusing. I don't know where Claude Sonnet 4.5 came from in the first place. My understanding was we were running on Kimi K 2.5 the whole time, and that's, I guess, the problem. So maybe that can be worded a bit more clearly. Unknown
But this
how
morning,
Claude Sonnet
you
4.5
saw
came
it.
into it.
You saw it this morning as Claude Sonnet. So it should
Correct.
say, assuming
Well,
you're
it was Sonnet
expecting Kimi
up until-
K2.
It was Sonnet up until 20th of July, then it shifted apparently on the 20th of July to Kimi K 2.5. That's what I was saying there.
Oh,
So it's
but
unknown
this
how we
morning-
shifted.
This morning, when you looked at it, was Claude Sonnet, right?
No, this morning it's Kimi K 2.5.
Oh, was it? Sorry, I'm mistaken then. Okay.
Yep. And it looks like it shifted from Sonnet to Kimi on the 20th of July. And as far as I can tell, no one can figure out why, which is slightly concerning. If our model can change and no one knows why. So we want to try and get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, obviously there's only two people that could have done it, and neither can remember even clicking around in the area.
Yeah, it might have been some sort of automated deployment or some sort of default
Yeah,
setting,
yeah,
or who knows. But we got to get
Yeah,
to the bottom of
but
it.
I guess if you guys are very confident you wouldn't change it without a conversation, then it
Correct.
must be something else.
So based on the quick investigation, what I did, I think we use Kimi K2 only for the first screen description, like to infer what's on the screen, as well as to give the PBI a subject. But when we go and create the PBI, it's still used Claude Sonnet 4.5. So I think we ran out of the major credits maybe on the 20th or something. And then the little bars that we've seen the last few days,
Right.
were just Kimi K2 because it's much cheaper.
Yes.
So that went through, but the Sonnet broke.
Right. So we had like 10 cents left. So all the Sonnet requests failed, but the Kimi request still worked. I guess that would make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is my assumption based on what I quickly looked up.
Cool.
Right.
Well, that's very cool.
But anyway, if
So
you
we
can figure that out and let everyone know when you've got the 100% confirmation, that would be valuable.
Yeah, that's my plan for tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then Steven mentioned as well the situation that we had, that he proactively jumped in on Sunday, but yeah, the communication fell a little bit down and there was some miscommunication in the end. Improvement for next sprint, Callum says, yeah, maybe we can engage our new sales guys and reaching out to potential non-technical YakShave customers like real estate agencies, etc. For that, we created like a GitHub discussion to collect some ideas what industries we could impact with YakShaver as well. Zeno said Armada currently can't handle changes that span multiple repositories. The best example is YakShaver desktop. Depends as well on the YakShaver portal and the backend. So if there's an issue that addresses both what needs to be done in both of the repositories, it's currently a bit difficult because I think, Adam, that answers one of your questions where one PBI got closed, but you didn't see the impact yet, which was the auth screen, because that spans 2 repositories. So the desktop app has been done, but the backend deployment hasn't happened yet. And then, as I said, based on the incident that we have, I will create some additional rules and update any rules that we have to manage better client management as well as incident management. Do we have any questions on any of that?
All good.
Thank you. Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's all about the retrospective. Next, we were going to look at the forecast for the next sprint. Yeah, for the next sprint, we deliberately only select one sprint goal to ship YakShaver YakSmasher end-to-end user. Since there are like 2 phases left, we will be focusing on this one. And also, beside this YakSmasher work item, we are going to fill the gap with some of the UX improvement PBIs, and also some Armada improvement as well. Just looking at the backlog, is there any specific one you want me to talk more a little bit? Any
Can
questions?
you talk us through what needs to be done to achieve the sprint goal?
Yeah, like I have just mentioned, we are currently on phase 4 at this moment. The phase 4 is we're going to actually creating the YakSmasher UI for the client website embedding. Currently, we have been doing research. There are 3 options. 2 involves using iframe, and the other one involving just JavaScript. And Tom and I are just like doing a little bit more research, seeing which one is better for our situation. Once that is done, we still need to create the UI for the portal, allow user to create the embed out of the project they created in the portal. So our YakShaver portal user as a admin, they can go into the portal and go to the project, say, I want to create a YakSmasher embed for this project. And then YakShaver will generate 1 line of the code. They can embed that code into their website, and then YakShaver lives on their website. So that there's only these 2 steps left. And also all the backend and the authentication has been done. Any questions?
Are you happy with that, Callum?
Yep, very exciting. Can't wait to get that done, because as soon as we got that, we can just roll it out to all the SSW products to replace Smashing Barrier. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be great. See the prefixes YakShaver anywhere embed. Do you need the word embed on all these, Callum?
Actually, this
should really be YakSmasher,
YakSmasher
shouldn't it?
embed.
And we probably need to give YakSmasher a better name.
I don't mind the name. It's fine. Does it need the word embed? Just YakSmasher? We know what it is.
Yeah, it should just be YakSmasher.
Yeah. And does that mean you're going to update on the PBI as well, Stephen?
Yes, I would update.
Okay. All right.
Afterwards.
And there's 2 more underneath that.
Yeah, I understand. I will update after the meeting. Yeah, so that's the.
Sorry, can I also ask about the prefixes of a little bit higher? R&D core activity. I just find that a very strange thing to be putting. Is that what you want to see, Callum?
That is there as the result of Luke Cook's new R&D skills. Now, do I want to see it? Probably not, because it's not super relevant for the sprint review. Maybe it should just be filtered out of this email. It's just sort of a side effect of the R&D process that has been captured, but I think the actual work that was done is in other PBIs anyway, so we don't really need it.
Right. Okay. See the document. I think that should say doc. It's a YakShaver doc, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just doc dash, like it's on their site. And the next one should be YakShaver anywhere dash support, or maybe it's support dash. I'm not really sure what it means, but yeah, maybe it's a doc. I don't know. What is it?
It's to complete, to feature complete YakShaver anywhere, because currently we only support GitHub through it. But on other platforms like Teams and desktop,
So
we also have
code inside YakShaver anywhere.
yes.
Well, then that should be the prefix.
Yeah, it should be YakShaver anywhere prefix.
Yeah. Yeah. Delete the stuff at the end. Yeah, I think I would check all these prefixes before sending it.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Top one
sure
should be YakSmasher as well, by the way.
Yeah.
But all of these changes you hear, you're going to have to do in GitHub as well.
Yes.
Remove this with.
Yeah. Yeah, what I would have done is I would have said, hey, Tom, can you fix all these? And then I'll press the button in here. This is Cheetah, right? Tiger or Cheetah?
No, this is the
Yeah.
skill. The skill template.
What's it called, Willow?
This is called Cheetah.
Cheetah. I thought it was Cheetah. So go up a little. And I think you can refresh, can't you? See, sync?
Yeah,
So-
but it's one way only.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I'm saying he should have
Updated
asked you to
GitHub
fix the
and then
title,
sync.
the
Yes.
titles, then sync and check if they're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Did you already know that you could do that?
The sync, yes.
Yes.
So then why would you want to make the changes twice?
I just make notes so I know which one to change.
Okay. All right.
I
But you
assume
still
you do
doing it
want
twice.
to go get his GitHub personal access token in the middle of the recorded video, which is what you have to
Right.
do to sync it. Maybe.
Okay.
Because on the other hand, Stephen can just tell Claude, look at the email and update it on GitHub.
That's correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's all the backlog items we plan for next sprint. Yeah, next, Willow, can you give us some AI stats for the planning?
Yeah, sure. So for the Tiger stats, it says the next step is for YakShaver is to complete the YakSmasher. And also it didn't quite get the words YakSmasher. And for others, we have the Amada things to create PBIs for the cross-repo dependency graph handling, and also some bunch of YakShaver PBIs. And I think most of all of them are correct. And we can scroll down to check the Copilot stats. Yeah, and for Copilot stats, it also says the main item to do next is to finish and ship YakSmasher. And that's correct too.
And Copilot spelled YakSmasher correctly, unlike Tiger.
Yeah.
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 That's great. Okay. Yeah. Next, Callum going to give us insights of the sprint review details.
All right, I'll take over the screen. There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, like Willow said, we called YakSmasher X measure for some reason. I guess that was from the transcript. Looking at the timeline, I thought it was interesting that we spent 8 minutes talking about what we can do with YakShaver, WeChat mini apps, attending conventions and so on and so forth, but it said that was a big waste of time. So we're not allowed to talk about what we're using our product for, which obviously is, I think, a little bit unfair. In terms of people, there's not really much to say there. In terms of the elephants in the room, one thing that is worth calling out, I think, so we achieved 147% velocity, but we also didn't actually achieve our sprint goal. So even though we are, getting a lot of stuff done in the background with Armada, we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that we also want to achieve our sprint goals. I think, doing YakSmasher was our main goal this sprint that we did not do. We only got 80% of it done. So that's worth keeping in mind. A couple of buried opportunities, which I think Tom already mentioned, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Sort of automating the whole R&D stuff using Armada is definitely a good idea. And the other thing that came up was an inbox that you can send emails to that then get YakShaved. That's an idea that's sort of been floating around for a while. And I think it would be pretty straightforward to do it. So we're going to get around to that eventually. And the other thing I guess that I called out was that we've merged this new YakShaver, the YakShaver 360 or YakShaver Anywhere engine. We've merged that into the Teams app now. So when you use the Teams app, you can, in the background, have it use YakShaver Anywhere to create the PBI. But we haven't really made a big fuss about it or told anyone to use it or anything like that. So I think this coming sprint, now that we've got it ready, we should start getting people to test it and give feedback. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Tiger.
Thank you, Callum. I'll take back control. Okay, so we have covered everything so far. And the meeting will be uploaded to YouTube as usual. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you.
Yeah.